So starting July 3rd, so tomorrow, you'll be able to check your personal play log on the official website. So also to celebrate the first anniversary, every Descendant who checks their log will receive the chest attachment Victory Achieved Together. So don't forget to check out your record and receive the gift.
Yeah, I mean, seeing all of this really makes me curious about my own records, and that attachment over there, I absolutely want to get my hands on that. You know, it kind of feels like a badge of honor for all the time spent playing the First Descendant. So as it will be available starting July 3rd, be sure to check it out and get the chest attachment for your Descendants. Then why don't we move on to the news on the Season 3, The Breakthrough.
We brought awesome news related to Season 3. As you can see, there are a lot to cover, so let's dive right in.
So then, let's begin with the Axion combat gameplay video. Looking at this video, yeah, you can see lots and lots of new things are being seen. What these new scenes resemble is something we'll have to look into today.
So let me start with the changes to the battle direction in Axion. This season, we're focusing on improving battles against common mobs, which used to be wiped out almost meaninglessly with one click. So far, common enemies crashed instantly from AoE skills immediately after spawn. So fun battle experiences need real back and forth with enemies, but there was no chance for that. So this season, we're focusing on making fights in Axion last long enough to feel good. So the balance of combat was redesigned so that instead of boring bullet sponges, you can enjoy interacting with mobs and having a blast slaying them. So the video you saw earlier showed Freyna with a full setup. Soldier-type mobs like breach spawns don't drop in one hit from her AoE anymore. They will now offer well-balanced, exciting battle experience. So the HP gap between soldier and champion mobs got narrowed as well. So instead of weak ones getting wiped out and dealing with higher HP mobs for the rest of the battle, fights in Axion will feel like you're against a whole group of monsters. So for the new mobs attacks, we made sure so that players can see them come in and be prepared, making battles more interactive. And instead of just reskinning the old enemies, we added new mechanics and attack patterns that actually need strategy, making fights way more interesting.
Wow, I mean, I think that's the kind of news many of the community have been waiting for, especially for those of you who were hoping for improvement to the combat experience and also wishing to see more challenging battles. I mean, Director, you also mentioned new monster mechanics, which I'm personally really excited about as well.
So it looks like the new Legion of Breach monsters are on the screen now. Breach spawns adopt to the Descendants attribute drew their parent, the Breach Cluster Sack. Like you see here, if Freyna takes them out with toxic skills, the next ones that spawn will have high resistance to toxic skills.
So now on our Dev Live in June, we did explain about the adaptability of these breach creatures. So we talked about the ways to disturb their adaptability by defeating them with weapons that have different elements than skills. Or you can create a party with different Descendants that have different elements, maybe like Freyna and Inez. And Director, you said there were other ways to handle them as well?
So as you can see on the screen, you can reset their adaptive defense by destroying the cluster sack or tunnels. So taking out a cluster sack is harder, but it disables the adaptive defense across the whole battlefield. Tunnels are easier, but only the breach spawns coming from that tunnel will be affected.
Can't we just put AoE skills below them?
So there are specific weapons and skills that are effective. For example, the new Season 3 weapon, Exterminator, works great to destroy the cluster sack or tunnel. Or you can use skills tagged Destroy, like Lapik's Overkill, Blair's Deadly Cuisine, and Haley's Storm Snare, and Jeneth.
Wow, really interesting to see. And we also have another content as well, which are assault ships. Yes, just looking at that video, I mean, yeah, I think there are various ways to destroy that big thing.
So assault ships can be destroyed in various ways. Regular weapons won't do much. With regular weapons, it's better to focus on the enemies that have already came out of the ship. But if you spot a pickup weapon that changes everything, you can take out the ship easily and wipe out the enemies in one go. And there are also effective skills with the clash tag like Kyle's superconductivity thrusters and Keelan's onslaught, or skills with the aimed shot tag like Haley's storm snare or Janeth. They are also great in destroying the ships.
Wow. So all in all, it sounds like there will be plenty of opportunities for different descendants to shine in various ways within Axion.
So that is exactly our design intent. You can go full-on elimination with Ines or Freyna, but other descendants can have their own ways to contribute. So we wanted the flow of multiplayer battles in Axion to shift depending on which descendants are in the party.
I mean, personally, I'm looking forward to taking down those assault ships with Kyle or Keelan. And as we explained during the Dev Live in June, destroying that assault ship will count as defeating all of the enemies inside. And you'll receive all of the rewards as well. We hope that players will enjoy these spectacular battles in Axion as you bring down these massive assault ships. Well, something's coming. 네, 뭔가 오고 있죠? Oh, that's like one massive monster over there. Is that like a mission boss?
They're actually spikers called Razor Claw and Steel Pincer, sorry. So they are pretty hard to miss. The size alone makes them stand out. Spikers have relatively simple patterns, but it still needs strategies. For Razor Claws and Steel Pincers, the key is to crush their armors using the new ultimate weapon Exterminator, or skills that deal heavy damage with one hit. So it is possible to clear the mission without killing them, but they will do everything it takes to bother you during the mission, so how to deal with them does matter in Axion. So unlike spikers, with their significant size and simple mechanics, Vulgus bosses have various patterns. For instance, Abyss Scarabs hide underground and burst out all of a sudden or launch themselves straight onto the descendants. They create an outer shell mid-fight to protect themselves, so breaking that is very important. So Breach Spreaders, which is the second boss, they call in a jetpack during battle. Once it's airborne, it bombards you from above, turning the fight into something completely different.
Well, so the patterns of these new monsters really seem quite diverse. And with so many different strategies to tackle them, I'm really looking forward to facing them in Season 3.
As you saw earlier, Axiom missions turn into these hot zones called unstable dimension zones at certain intervals. Enemies become more dangerous, but the rewards get better too. Since Axion is designed for top-tier players, the core of opportunities for them will revolve around these unstable zones as well.
And for those max-level players, what kind of requirements should they meet if they want to access the Axion planes?
So system-wise, I'd say MR18 or higher, who have completed the Sigma sector content already. In terms of difficulty, it is designed for descendants equipped with a highly sophisticated build. Even with that full setup, it's going to feel a little tough at the unstable zones, but party play makes it much easier to push through. So the bar is set pretty high up there. Descendants whose modules are all set, Arche level has reached its peak, Reactor has enhanced, weapons and external component cores are all set, so that's who we're targeting for this content. And in the video that the Descendant you're seeing have about this setup as well.
You know, I heard that there were some other exciting systems in Axion, like, objectives that players can cooperate in, and also something I think many of you are looking forward to, hover bikes.
In Axion, players can take on daily co-op quests that focus on unstable dimension zones. And there are also supply drops scattered throughout the area. As you can see on the screen, there will be a simple hoverbike racing mission where you can try to finish within the time limit. And the highlight, though, is the wall crusher event, which we will cover in just a bit.
Another thing a lot of the players are curious about is, Director, last time you mentioned that Axion will feature an all-in-one reward system. So how exactly will that be implemented?
There are a lot. Axion lets you farm everything from EXP, and Arche tuning materials to augmentation cores and mutant cells, trigger modules, the newly added content for Season 3, will also be available in Axion. So you can farm all blueprints in Axion, but it's not necessarily efficient when you're targeting specific ones, meaning if you're looking for a particular descendant or weapon blueprint, it's still better to utilize other content. This probably doesn't concern players that have already reached MR29, but if you rush into Axion with only a few descendants built up, don't forget to use the existing content to speed up your farming while still enjoying Axion.
Yeah, really great to hear that new and returning players they'll still be able to enjoy the new content in Season 3 while continuing to farm certain items. So we'll talk more about the new reward system changes a bit later, but for now, let's talk about trigger modules. Trigger modules, I still and really have a lot of questions for this, and I'm sure the community does too. Director, you gotta tell us, could you tell us how they work and what types of modules players can expect?
The trigger module is a fresh new skill for Descendants. To unlock it, you gotta hit 40 with both the Descendant level and Arche tuning level. Socket assignment must be completed 10 plus times as well. And then you will need a special item called Axiom to open the slot. With the open slot, you can swap trigger modules in and out freely to experiment with your builds.
So I'm guessing that thing over there, it's the slots for equipping them. So now how do they actually work?
So every Descendant skill has its own tag. These tags match the skill's animation, so it's quite intuitive. So take Freyna's Venom Trauma, for example, which fires toxic bullets and leaves a toxic puddle. Naturally, it's tagged as explosive projectile, ground DOT, and continuous damage. And with Ines Floating Lightning, it's even simpler. It's tagged as a tracking projectile. So now let's check out the new trigger modules. The tag listed on top of each module is what triggers them. Battering Ram, for instance, is triggered when clash tag skills are activated, which Ajax, Kyle, Serena, Keelan, Asmo, Velvi, and Ines can use.
Good.
Yay! Some trigger modules have no tag at all. They kick in during more general actions like reloading, hitting non-weak points, or using a skill.
So we have 9 new trigger modules that will be added, and new trigger modules will continue to be released every month throughout Season 3.
So we made our fair share of balance-related mistakes, so we're playing a bit safe this time, making sure to stack on only solid content each time. Like you said, we're planning monthly updates with new trigger modules and mutant cells, not bunny cells, so that players can have way more build variety to play with in Season 3.
I'm guessing these trigger modules will be farmed in Axion as well.
So you will, of course, farm this in Axion, and each trigger module comes with a randomized effect range. The ones you don't need can be dismantled, or starting in November, you can use player-to-player trading system. That's for cooking up.
Wow, it does look like these trigger modules will bring lots of changes on how we build our Descendants.
So we first touched on Ultimate Awakening through Blair's story, which a lot of players really enjoyed. With Nell, she will actually be the first character whose awakening as a Descendant will be fully shown. So we're putting a lot into it and really hope you will love where her story goes.
아, 네, 지금 나오고 있는데.
네, 처음에 넬 전투 컨셉을 염동력을 쓰는 총기 딜러라고 제가 들어서
At first, when I heard Nell's concept was a gun-wielding telekinetic DPS, we were a bit worried. I was a bit worried that it might end up feeling too flat in action or combat mechanics. But once development kicked in, it turned out way more dynamic and stylish.
Nell's element is non-attribute, and she uses tech and fusion archetypes. Interestingly, her passive also includes the fusion archetype, and I'm going to rely on the director to explain more about her skills.
So first up is Nell's passive, Suspicion and Insight. Whenever she uses on Asif, she marks enemies with Asif skin, which gives the buff and special effects. Also, like Enzo, she gets bonus perks when opening encrypted vaults. So her first active, Breach Discharge, fires a piercing projectile straight ahead. Hitting enemies marked with scan deals extra damage. So it's all about tagging as many scanned enemies as possible in one shot. So her second skill, Ring of Breach, creates a breach in front of her, and it gives debuff to enemies. The longer the breach lasts, the stronger its debuff effect becomes. You can reactivate the skill to retrieve the Arche breach, triggering an explosion in front of you. So her third skill, Gravitic Reversal, can only be used when the breach is on from her second skill. It instantly neutralizes the breach, pulling in nearby enemies and deals damage.
Yeah, so I think there's like a choice in how you combine skill 2 and 3. So depending on the situation, players can either maintain skill 2, keeping the debuff a bit longer, or they can convert it into skill 3 to pull enemies in and deal the damage. Yeah, it does sound a bit complicated, but I think our players are going to figure it out. And it sounds like the players playing Nell, they will need to make smart decisions based on the moment.
So like Jason said, it's all about case-by-case combination. So for example, against a strong single target, you can use Arche Breach's debuff to crank up your gun damage. And for groups of weaker mobs, by recalling the breach, you can deal solid damage to wipe them. If you're surrounded by a bunch of champion mobs, you can use skill 3 to pull them in, buy yourself some free fire time, and group them up for easy clean shots. So Nell's fourth active, Gaze of the Abyss, is very, very important. It gives a buff to nearby allies and make all of her own attacks count as weak point hits. Using skill 4 and skill 1 at the same time on scanned enemies extends the duration of skill 4. So with the right combo timing, you can keep it going longer. So with the Transcendent module restored hard, Breach's debuff effect becomes a buff. Allies get a shield-related buff, and by recalling skill 2, skill cooldowns for nearby allies get reduced. So allies near the breach will get a buff on their weak point multiplier, so this can turn Nell into a buffer for gun DPS allies. The Transcendent module's Shattered Heart gives a twist to the first and the fourth skills. Skill 4 is transformed into a multi-projectile blast that deals damage. When it hits a scanned enemy, her first skill reduces her fourth skill's cooldown and stacks up more projectile. So you build up with her first and clear out with her fourth. So on the screen, you can see two skins. First one on the left side is Nell's NPC version clothing as an Albion executive officer. Another one on the right side is her premium skin called the Tactical Field Officer uniform.
네, 저 NPC 복장은 배틀패스 전리품 상자 보상입니다.
The NPC version clothing will be the Battle Pass reward. The Eraser is an ultimate weapon built to counter the adaptive defense system. Each shot analyzes the target's defense patterns and fires an effect that breaks through them. It deals AoE damage and neutralizes adaptive defenses with a special effect.
Great to hear. Next, we have the Exterminator, new launcher coming in Season 3.
Gotta explain about the Exterminator. So the Exterminator locks onto enemies within its firing arc. Once fired, it unleashes a rapid barrage of missiles on all targets. So you can farm Eraser in Axion, and Exterminator is available through this season's Battle Pass. Using the Battle Pass weapon will definitely give you a solid edge when tackling Axion mechanics.
Thank you, Director. Speaking of the Battle Pass, I heard there were some changes coming to this season's Battle Pass. Oh, new skins. So are we finally getting an exclusive Battle Pass skin instead of just recolors?
So this time we're adding a brand new universal skin as a final reward of the Battle Pass. And no worries, you will still get all the classic usual rewards too: ultimate weapon skins, social emotes, attachment, and so on. So it's a matchy design with the season's core theme. Moving forward, each season will feature a matchy universal skin as a Battle Pass reward. We also revamped how daily challenges work. Now the challenges will be tailored to your MR, and if there's one you're not feeling, you can swap it out using the new replace feature, having more flexibility in your own play. So we've also reworked season challenges to have multiple steps. For example, in infiltration ops, you will progress through different stages step by step, like 5, 10, 30, and then 100 times. Not only that, we also adjusted how Battle Pass XP is distributed. Now you will earn meaningful progress, not just from season challenges, but also from daily and weekly ones. As such, we'll keep listening to your feedback and to further improve the Battle Pass in the future.
Yes, I'm assuming that the reason the Season 3 Battle Pass features a mechanic skin is because of the hover bike. Yeah.
와우.
Just look at the speed of that. 네, 영상 보면 속도감이 정말 엄청납니다.
So I'm sure lots of you have been curious about how the hoverbikes will look in-game. Today we've got driving, on and off, and transition clip ready for you. So the basic hoverbike is a well-balanced model that will be given to all players as soon as they come to Axion. The red one is the fastest and probably the most popular one. To get the speed and balance type hoverbikes, you will need to farm parts in Axion and unlock it through research. So we paid close attention to it. We've received a lot of feedback about awkward pauses during skill emotes. So we made sure mounting and dismounting hoverbikes can flow naturally. You can hop on the hoverbike while moving and can even use the grappling hook and enjoy the natural transition.
That kind of gets me curious. Can we ride the hoverbike anywhere we want? And what happens if we want to use skills while we're riding the hoverbike?
So you can freely use the hoverbike in Axion and open fields, but it will be limited in dungeons and intercept battles. We thought bikes are not suitable with the tight and complex layouts of the existing dungeons. But the future dungeons may include driving sections moving forward, which can be very interesting. So about Jason's second question, while you cannot really activate new skills while riding, you can use buffs before mounting. So we debated cutting off active effects when mounting to avoid unexpected outcomes, which is more convenient for the devs, to be honest. But in the end, we wanted players to have some freedom. So the hoverbike you're seeing in the video is fully upgraded to max performance. The basic hoverbike is already faster than the Descendant on foot, but upgrades can boost its speed even more. With the August update, 3 types will be introduced: basic, speed, and balance. Upgrades must be done for each type. So we plan to release a variety of cosmetic skins for hoverbikes, but we couldn't bring them today. We just brought the basic types of the hoverbikes. The red one is the speed type, and then the blue and the white one is the balance type. So this is the updated lobby screen under development. So we brought the concept art because we wanted to show you guys today. You'll be able to see this in your lobby, the hoverbike, fellow, and the Descendant all together, which seems like richer than me because I only have a dog.
Now, let's talk about inversion reinforcements in Season 3. Inversion reinforcements are refreshed every season, offering a new layer of fun as players rebuild and experiment with different setups. Let's take a look at what kind of effects have been updated this season. So, Director, there's colors on them. The effects highlighted, I think those are the ones that are being updated in Season 3.
Yes, that's true. The orange one will get the attribute changes, and the yellow one will get the overall renewal. So the survival and season lines will receive a broad rework. First, survival has changed to an effect that conditionally increases attribute resistance, max HP, max shield, and DF. So the season line will now have effects that match the season content, like increased number of targets for Exterminator, increased damage for Eraser, and strengthened effects of Nell scan.
Yeah, so I think many of you have been expecting this. So this season's effects include enhancements for new content such as Nell, the Exterminator, and the Eraser. Now, let's move on to something I know a lot of players have been looking forward to, the Wall Crasher. Wow. 정말 와우한데?
So at set intervals, Wall Crasher will summon to the center of the Axion plane by a certain device. What you're seeing here is the inside of the device, just as Wall Crasher makes its grand entrance with a wow factor.
Yes.
So before Wall Crusher shows up, Axion will be flooded with omens, and other colossi will crawl out too, like grave walkers and executioners. When the time hits, just like you see on the screen, Wall Crusher arrives. So the players already inside the device will get to see the full intro with that older sounds, and anyone entering after the spawn drops straight into the instance.
You know, when I look at that, it's like I think this is the first time we're seeing 8 players in a battle, and it does feel kind of new and quite interesting to see, actually.
So this is the first time that we're introducing the 8-player co-op, so it was quite refreshing for me too. Since Wall Crusher is massive and built to fight 8 players at once, most of its skills cover the whole screen. It's a heavy hitter that moves slow, so players will be able to read its actions and prep accordingly.
You know, when you look at that video, it seems like Ajax, he's using his 4th skill to block the Wall Crusher's skills. So I'm assuming that having Ajax in our party is going to be a huge help.
Oh, when we were making the Wall Crusher, I made sure that it is something that Ajax can do the shield effect for every party players. So when fighting against Wall Crusher, dodging its skills while dishing out damage is important. So with Ajax, the rest of the Descendants will get to focus on dealing damage, which will wrap things up faster with great efficiency.
But you know, I gotta say this. I mean, since the Wall Crusher's HP, it seems like it's gonna scale with the number of party members. So wouldn't it be a problem if Ajax, he only focuses on shielding and doesn't do much damage?
So no worries, Wall Crusher's HP and difficulty stay the same no matter the party size. More players means faster takedowns and easier fights since its attention will spread out. Since you'll be with random teammates on Axion plane when facing Wall Crusher, the focus is less on strategy or teamwork, but more on huge epic visuals and non-stop all-in attacks.
Okay, so no 8 Serenas. Let's get Ajax, everyone into the game. Yes. So it does seem like a different strategy compared to Abyss Intercepts. While Abyss Intercept battles are focused on understanding the Colossus' mechanics and preparing the builds, this Wall Crusher over here, it feels more like an open field event where you can like team up with unexpected players. Now that makes it the perfect timing to move on to our next topic, the new Abyss Intercept battles. Yes, introducing the Stormhanger.
The boss that gave everyone headaches in the early days of TFT. New players might not remember it, but back then, you know, if someone's running around carrying the cube, the other people had to smash the tube inside the mouth, but oftentimes everyone was kind of clueless what to do. Everyone was just running around with the cube and then getting the beam attack. So it was very chaotic, and some people actually swore a lot.
Yeah, but now we're just pummeling this hangman with high DPS. But I do miss those early days.
To make everyone happy, the cube gimmick is gone for Stormhanger. No more beam attacks either. So Stormhanger is an electric attribute boss coming to the updated Void level intercepts. The key mechanic is to minimize the Stormhanger's powerful skill attacks by destroying unstable cores that give the EMP shield at the right timing.
And of course, in the Abyss Intercept, we'll be able to farm skins as well, right? So it's the first time we're seeing a variant of the Hangman in the Abyss Intercept. So I'm really curious to see what kind of skins will be available.
So the new Abyss Stormhanger skins came out super stylish. I'm personally pretty happy with them. Plus, since farming at Void Abyss has gotten easier since last season, I'd love to see more people giving it a shot to get the skin. And you can't really see on the screen here, but then there are color toys as well. So please also try to get that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to farming those as well. Let's not forget the challenge mode for Abyss Intercept also lets you farm a large amount of quality certified ETA vouchers at once.
So Stormhanger in challenge mode will have a more complex pattern. So when entering a Void Reflux mode, it summons an accumulation inhibitor that boosts its defense even further. In challenge mode, managing unstable cores and inhibitors becomes the key to win.
All right, we've covered all the big content updates coming in August. And now let's take a look at the main improvements players can look forward to. Socket type assignment improvements. Wow.
So as you may know, assigning a socket type resets your Descendant's level to 1. You gotta level back up to 40 all over again. So the process was hard to grasp for beginners, and with the level 1 stats, the difficulty increased as well. To help newcomers settle more smoothly, we made some changes. Assigning a socket type will still reset your level to 1, but your stats will stay as if you were level 40.
Wow, I think that's something many of you have been waiting for. So we did see some players bringing like level 1 Descendants to various content, but now players will be able to play with level 40 specs. That's really good to hear, and I think it'll be especially helpful for new players as well.
So the titles look very, very interesting. The Descendant Boost Up is an event that lets players jump straight from normal to hard difficulty quests. You will skip the entire normal difficulty stories and start off at the Sigma Sector storyline with a proper support. So it is an optional event, so you can enjoy the storyline as much as you want to do, and then at some point if you want to skip the part, you can jump and then use the Boost Up. So new or returning players stuck in the story progress often had trouble finding others to play with. And some players came back to experience new updates like the ones we shared today, only to realize they had to clear old content before accessing anything new. It acted as if like a barrier. So that's why we created the Boost Up, so new, returning, and existing players can all jump into the new content together. Using just Boost Up can be difficult for the players, so players who jump into hard mode with the Boost Up can follow the boost path to learn key information and get rewards. Since the system is pretty bold, we're running it as a trial for now. Later on, we'll improve it based on the feedback we'll receive, and then run it again periodically alongside major future updates. It kicks off first with the August 7th update. We'll soon share the end date as well.
Yes, thank you. August 7th. Oh, and we have something big coming. Yes,
Who is
something really
he?
big. We know him.
그죠?
이 사람 누구예요?
Who is he
기억이 잘
even?
안 나요.
I don't even remember who
Come
he
on,
is.
guys. Yeah, it's Jaber over there. And I also heard that in Season 3, you're planning to roll out monthly Descendant balance updates on a set schedule. Could you tell us how that's going to work?
So once more, my sincere apologies for not handling balance adjustments appropriately in the past. So for a better future in the moving forward, the balance improvement schedules are now officially part of the Season 3 roadmap. Every monthly update will include balance patches with numbers and usability improvement. So we have Jaber on the screen because we will start by improving Jaber in August. It won't be just tweaking numbers, we are focusing on overall performance improvement. So Jaber has been forgotten from our balance patches. That's why we decided to, maybe this time, we gotta focus on Jaber. So July 3rd, tomorrow's update also includes balance patches on Bunny, Valby, Blair, Glay, Haley, Sharon, and Enzo. So based on that results, we'll decide which Descendants to adjust next. So once the combat balance is set for Season 3, we'll use Ines as the baseline for skill-based dealers and improve underperforming characters through monthly updates.
Yes, QOL Improvements. There's a lot coming in the August update for Season 3. Now, guys, could you briefly walk us through the main points?
So first up is reward loop improvement. We're fixing existing content with low reward efficiency and streamlining farming routes. For instance, Haley, Peacemaker, and Frostwatcher farming was challenging, so we're adding alternative farming sources. So additionally, the name card you select will be visible to other players. So currently you can save up to 3 Inversion Reinforcement loadouts, but now you'll be able to preset separate loadouts for each Descendant, making setup management even easier. So invasion content is mainly used for gold farming at the moment, so we're planning to simplify the Order of Truth puzzle, making it into more of a daily event style experience.
Yes, so due to time constraints, we only covered like the key improvements today, but I'm really excited to hear that Season 3 will also include a wide range of quality of life updates. New skin updates. We'll start by taking a look at the new skins launching on July 24th with the Season 3 demo. And really ready to showcase this. So, Rabbit Game skin, wow, producer, are you trying to make every Descendant like into Bunny.
We had a lot of internal back and forth about what kind of skin to offer for our first anniversary. We kept coming back to Bunny, our iconic character. So we prepared a Bunny girl skin for every female descendant.
지금 화면에 나오네 벨비.
Ah. Rider skin
힘내십시오.
colored in red. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I saw that mechanic skin in the battle pass, I was like, wait, where? I mean, we should be having like this rider skin kind of thing for our hover bike. But yeah, I guess all of this was already planned.
So, of course, since we're introducing the hover bikes, we need a matching skin. So the skin pairs perfectly with the red speed type hover bike.
아케이드 게임기로 바이크 게임을 즐기는 소셜 모션도 있습니다.
So there's also social mode where your character plays a bike game on an arcade machine.
Oh,
여름이다.
여름. Yeah.
Summer vibe.
Yes, it's really hot in Korea, and I think this is the perfect skin. These look like a perfect match for the hot summer season, and a casual outfit skin along with the summer vacation skin for our fellows. Yeah, 그래서
So we're premiering them for the first time ever today. So the left one is the summer skins that fits into the summer bike perfectly. And my personal favorite is the fallow skin. If you look closely, there is a penguin on top of the fallow. And I think it's like a scene stealer for me.
Lots of new concepts over here. Yeah. Yes. Looks like we got some new skins coming in the second half of the year. Is that like a new rider skin over there? And the one in the middle over there, it looks like the lounge outfit we saw from the trailer.
So I brought them to hype up everyone. So first up from the left, we have the new fellow Husky's base skin. Next to that is another rider skin. And then the lounge clothing you mentioned on Barefoot. And then the premium skin for the Ultimate Luna. And then we got the medical support skins for Haley, Luna, and Sharon coming up.
Yes, and also variety of lots of new skins coming up. One looking like a cheerleader over there. And on the left, is that like a succubus theme skin? Wow, very new things coming.
So I wanted to bring as many concept arts as possible to share with you today. On the very left side is the succubus skin, which is a very eye-catching one. It's what I'm thinking of for Halloween this year. And I wanted to share more, and please stay tuned because there are more skins coming up in the future. So I'm sure many of you have been waiting for this. It's actually better with the big screen. When we talked about our first collab, Nier Automata's IP came up instantly with no debate. Everyone who heard this said like it's going to be the perfect fit. I'm just happy that we successfully carried out this collab, and I had a blast playing it myself too. So I'm excited for the collaboration myself. So as you can see, 2B and A2's outfits are prepared in two different versions. So the first one is the original look and then the self-destruct look. Plus pod and then two types of swords like Virtuous Contract and Type 40 sword will also land in TFD as back attachments. We've also got two social emotes ready, so be sure to check those out.
이거는 큰 화면으로 한번 봐야 돼요.
Yes.
네.
Better with the big screen.
Looking at big, wow, is that the lounge? I mean, it's amazing. Great.
So this is the bedroom area in the lounge. Here characters make eye contact and say hi to you. She just waves her hand today, but when you actually join the game, she'll even talk to you. So it is a collectible you can display in the lounge. On the shelves, you can place these collectibles and figures. And in the living room, you can showcase a big diorama, which is shown on the right side. And you can put collected figures on top of that. I saw it on the 3D version and it looked amazing.
Sword.
Sword.
스워드.
So don't miss the double-handed sword Ajax is holding. We are working on both a sleek blade and heavy double-handed sword for every style. So this is the newly discovered Void Vessel. The previously explored Void Vessel was only part of the Ancestors Vessel's breach. The newly discovered one seems to be a mid-sized facility zone. So it's coming in October alongside the new sword weapons and a sword-wielding boss. That will also feature a long hover bike route that adds a fresh twist to the dungeon experience in TFT.
Yes, and we'd like to reveal one more piece of information. You may already know Nell is coming in August, Ultimate Luna in September,
네.
Ultimate Yujin in December. Well, we prepared a special sneak peek at the concept for a new Descendant coming November.
짜잔.
짜란.
So no one saw it coming, I believe. The Harris, the leader of the construction corps, is awakening as a Descendant. So she'll be a skill-based damage dealer who fights with the mechanical arms. You may know Harris with her wild look, but she's about to show off a whole new side. So I'm guessing a lot of you expected Daya to be the next new Descendant. As we mentioned before, that's already confirmed. In the meantime, we just wanted to try something fresh with Harris and her mechanical arms, so she is stepping in first.
Yes, the roadmap is popping up right here. So during the last Dev Live, when the Season 3 roadmap was revealed, we saw some players were disappointed about the new content being released in separate parts. Could you share your opinions on that?
So I believe this will be the screen people will put the most attention on. So I take the community's feedback seriously and want to be honest. So given the time needed for proper polishing and QA, we've concluded it's not realistic to move up the release schedule. And that said, we're committed to delivering the new content every month. We will keep doing our best to ensure each monthly update is packed with high quality content.
Yeah, and also in the previous seasons, I mean, some players were disappointed that there wasn't much new content aside from progression and farming. But, looking at this huge roadmap here, it seems like these concerns are being addressed this time around.
So in August, we're dropping the Axion plane, and then in October, November, and December, on the first Thursday of each month, new dungeons will roll out. We're mixing content, progression system, and farming to keep things fresh, no endless grind on the same old stuff. So we also reset the baseline. Skill dealers will be balanced based on Ines, as mentioned before, and the farm dealers based on Serena. So by analyzing hunting efficiency and character uses across Season 3 Axion and existing content, characters with low efficiency or lacking meaningful roles will be targeted for monthly balance updates. So the dev team is aware of the gap between the skill dealers and the farm dealers' performance. Moving forward, we will work on it and then improve so that the skill dealers can match the farm dealers' performance in the future. So as I mentioned before, throughout the Season 3, every month we'll introduce trigger modules and mutant cells to offer various opportunities for build setups. So about the things that we haven't covered yet, in October, we will try to introduce a feature, try to make amorphous material opening possible in Albion via an NPC. If we make that change, the intercept system will lose its purpose. So later on, intercept system and difficulty will be restructured with fresh content. It will be done in next year. So to make things clear, even if we introduce this changes on amorphous material opening in October, the intercept battle on hard mode will still there for a while. So there are two things that I like to mention. As you can see on the screen in August, we have some much requested sound improvements, sound enhancement coming. I'll probably share the details separately later on. We're making broad improvements from sound effects, background music, to sound options.
So let me introduce the events. Yes, to celebrate the first anniversary. First, the Anisis first anniversary gift workshop will be opening tomorrow within the game. So you'll be able to collect first anniversary tokens by completing various missions and participating in the Grab the Breakthrough draw event. I'll explain about that a bit later. The first anniversary tokens can be exchanged for a wide variety of rewards, including Descendant purchase tickets, an ultimate weapon selection box, attendance memento, and even photo mode frames and stickers. And on the right side over there, we have the July 24th, we'll be launching the Season 3 Breakthrough Demo. Yes, when playing the demo, demo 너무 중요하죠. Very important. When playing the demo, you'll be able to play as Nell, ride the hover bike, and explore the vast Axion plains. So you'll also participate in battles against the Legion of Breach and fight against that massive wall crasher you saw earlier. That will also be included in the demo as well. So please look forward to that. And we'll also be running the Axion Plains First Look demo event. And just by participating in the demo, you'll receive the Axion box, which includes items such as title and gold. Also another box that contains 3 exclusive hoverbike paints. And if you complete the demo, you'll get additional rewards like a spoils box and a crystallization catalyst. We also have even more events planned for August, packed with amazing rewards. So yes, please stay tuned. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
이따 봬요.
Thank you. See ya.
감사합니다.